What's up YouTube? It's Sion the Don and I am back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about a new movie. So we are going to be doing a review of the 688. It is a PG-13 movie. It is 2 hours and 9 minutes long, and it was just released on December 20th of 2024. The movie is based on the article Fighting a Two-Front War by Kevin M. Heimel. It's produced, written, and directed by Tyler Perry, and Kerry Washington is an executive producer. So the description of this movie reads, so if you're on Netflix, if you have Netflix and you came across this movie, then I'm pretty sure you've seen the description, and it says, during World War II, the only U.S. Women's Army Corps unit of color stationed overseas takes on an impossible mission in Tyler Perry's drama based on a true story. And at first, when I was scrolling through Netflix, I was kind of hesitant at first. I just seen any movie with black people on it, I normally click on pretty fast. So I clicked on it, and then when I read that, and I was like, At first I was a little hesitant because personally, I'm not like a war film type guy. I'm not like someone who really likes, I like action movies and movies like that, but I just necessarily am not someone who likes warlike type films and war films. So I was a little hesitant at first to watch it, but I am so glad that I did watch it because it was just such a great movie to me. So basically, we're introduced to a couple named Lena Darricott and Abram. I cannot remember his last name off the top of my head. I feel like the 688 is an amazing story of American history during World War II that everyone should be aware of. It's about how a group of remarkable women trailblazed through a great deal of barriers to become heroes in an aspect of American history that not many people may be aware of, but was very important and crucial to maintaining the morale and strength of American soldiers at a time when morale was low and the world was at a standstill, but splitting in so many different directions. I've always enjoyed Tyler Perry's films and TV shows. I've watched quite a few of Tyler Perry's shows and movies. I even did a review of Mia Culpa on my channel, one of his other movies that came out this year. And I feel like this movie is up there for Color Girls in regards to just how real the movie is and the type of emotion that it pulls out of you. It's one of those. So long story short, because I don't really want to spoil the movie just in case someone hasn't seen it, but I will give you a little gist of the movie. So one of the main characters, Lena Darricott, she's a black woman, and she is friends with a guy named Abram, and he tells her that he's going to war. So mind you, he's white. Mind you, Abram's a white man and Lena's a black woman. So her family's not really supportive, and his family's not really supportive of, them being together. So before he leaves for war, he asks Lena to wait for him. So Lena never hears from him. So it appears that when he leaves for war, it appears that he has not written and or has not made any communication. She sees a war ad in class about women working in the war. Lena then received a letter informing her that Abram had passed on. She decides to join the army after graduating to help fight Hitler, and that was what she would say. So moving on, once Lena joins the war, that's where she meets a group of friends. And out of those group of friends, one of my favorites was Johnny May. I love Johnny May. I just loved how outspoken she was. She was just like a good breath of fresh air. And also, she was just funny. I really liked what she was saying. And that is also once Lena joins the army, that is also where we see Kerry Washington's character. And Kerry Washington is playing the commanding officer, Captain Charity Adams. And this is where the girls, including Lena, go through intensive training, basically like, test of their strength mentally and physically. And now moving on. So moving on from there. So during the film, we learned that commanding officer Captain Charity Adams has been asking the Army for an assignment, for basically like a task, something. But they would never give them one because they just felt that a force of all women, especially black women, would just not, they just didn't see it. They didn't see black women being capable of completing a task. They felt that black women were dumb, inferior, or lazy. And that was a real good scene where I liked where Kerry Washington told them that. And she was like, "Are you dumb, inferior, or lazy?" And it was just a heartwarming scene. Moving on, they end up giving them a task. And the Army that was not favorable or supportive of Negro women in the field. They did not find them capable. They were viewed as dumb, inferior, and lazy, as I said earlier. So they gave them 6 months to complete a task, and that was delivering the mail to the soldiers. Because at this point, we learned that the soldiers have not been receiving mail, and the morale of the soldiers is low, and these soldiers are fighting in a war, and they have family at home who haven't heard from them since they left, and the soldiers haven't talked to their families or been able to communicate with them since leaving for the war. So the Army gave these black women the assignment, but they only gave them 6 months to deliver all this mail. And at first, the captain, she thought this was generous until she saw the full task at hand. And over a course of 10 months, a few tried but could not do it. The only people who was able to successfully deliver all that mail was the 688. The 688 Central Postal Directory Battalion was the only all-black and women of color Women's Army Corps unit to serve in Europe during World War II. Arriving in Europe just before the end of the war, they were given the impossible task of delivering 17 million pieces of mail in 6 months. They did it in less than 90 days. The 688 brought communication and an important uplift in morale and hope to the soldiers. And this is why I say that it's so important that black stories are told by black people. Black stories being told by black people are crucial because it allows for authentic representation of lived experience, especially because I don't feel like a director that was white would be able to really tell this story and shape it the way that it needed to be told. I feel that we as black people come from a long line of storytellers, and we seek out the stories that shed light on who we are in this country. And when our history is hidden from us, when our history is not taught to us, I do feel like it's our job as black people to tell our story and to make sure that our stories are heard the correct way. Because don't get me wrong, I love a good Tubi movie, I do. I love a good action movie sometimes, like I love a good movie. But these are the type of stories that I feel like us as black people need to hear because I feel like black people, we have made, us as black people, we have made an impact in this world. And this is something you don't learn in schools. This is the type of stories that are not taught to black kids in schools. This is the type of stuff that black kids need to know, that you come from greatness, that your ancestors, that the ones before you that they faced great obstacles as well, that there was a lot of roadblocks on their path to success as well, but they trailblazed through, that they pushed through. These women are the unsung heroes of World War II, as well as American history that were swept underneath the rug to be forgotten. But if it wasn't for Tyler Perry and Kerry Washington, a lot of us probably would have never known about the 688 Central Postal Directory Battalion. Everything about this movie was exceptional. I mean, the acting was great, the storytelling, Everything was great about the movie, including its writing. I really enjoyed this movie, and I hope you check it out. And so I really enjoyed this movie, and I think you should check it out. You really should, because I enjoyed it. I did. And when I tell y'all about the last 30 minutes of the movie, nothing but tears. Nothing but tears falling down my goddamn face. Nothing but tears. Like, because it was just so moving. Like, it was just such a it was just such a touching story. Like, it was so touching. Like, I really felt like I learned history. Like, I felt like I was connecting with my ancestors or something. Like, and to see like all the difficulty and the adversity that they faced, and they're helping to fight in a war, and you know, and they're a part of the army, and they're still not being viewed as, you know, one with the army. It was just like touching to see. Like, it's so easy to feel excluded from the world as a Black person. And this movie just really showed that we're all human. We're all human. And that love and faith and hope are things that we should display more. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. So if you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out some more of my other videos. I'll see y'all soon.